So you own a Denafrips Iris 2 DAC or something in the same price point / performance level, but want to reach the next level without taking a major hit to the budget? Stay tuned and I'll discuss a potential option. Hi everyone, Mark from Audio Pursuit. First, the legal disclaimer. I received the Denafrips Iris 12th DDC for review after making an email request. I was not compensated in any way for this review, and no one from Denafrips saw the video before it going live on YouTube. I can remember when people scoffed at the idea of a separate DAC converter box. Audio fans would point out the fact that there was already a digital to audio converter chip inside the CD player. But what many people didn't understand is that by having a separate box for the conversion, the ability to extract more detail by peeling away some of the haze would improve the sound. Now the next step has been taken by several companies. The idea of taking the digital signal and, while still in the digital domain, converting it into a cleaner digital signal, for lack of better phrasing, then sending it on to the DAC. Denafrips has done this with the Iris 12th generation DDC. This unit, which is housed in a case similar in size to their Iris 2 DAC. The front panel uses the same miniature red LED display for the input source of USB and rates, as well as the various output rates. Finally, a button to engage an external clock. The backside holds 5 outputs: coax, SPDIF via RCA, Toslink, AES EBU, I2² HDMI, and I2² RJ45. The core mission of the Iris 12th is jitter reduction. Jitter, that digital gremlin that smears transients and muddies the soundstage, is truly the bane of many enthusiasts in this hobby. Denafrips, with its deep understanding of digital signal processing, has deployed its proprietary reclocking technology to vanquish this foe. The result? A digital signal that's cleaner, more precise, and imbued with a newfound sense of clarity. So how does this work? Well, I'll give you a brief explanation. The signal is brought in through the USB input. That digital signal is filtered, cleaned up, scrubbed, whatever you want to call it, and then reset into PCM from there. It travels into the DAC. I use the coaxial input, but others' choices are available. This conversion can happen from many different format choices. Therefore, you are not limited to accepting only certain digital signal input codes into the Iris. This component takes in both the digital signal and the clock signal. These two signals are put into perfect alignment. In doing so, the layers of instrumentation become clearer. How does it all really work? Denafrips' engineering team attacked the issue using a combination of FGPA DSP chip, temperature compensated crystal oscillators, known as TCXO, multiple low dropout voltage regulators, LDO, and a capacitor bank, as well as isolating the digital signals. While I could rehash in-depth scientific details of this, instead, I highly recommend watching a British Audiophiles review. Taryn does an exceptional job at explaining it in a clear, common language approach. And yes, Taryn, if I ever get across the pond, I'd love to have a beer with you, even if it is warm. I hooked the Iris up into my system, coming after my WIM Ultra Streamer and before the Denafrips Iris 2 DAC. It's important to remember that the Iris 2 DAC is a resistor ladder design, otherwise known as an R2R DAC. The sound, as described by so many of myself, is a bit more analog or warmer and slightly rounded. Honestly, it's just smoother for my ears. One thing to keep in mind is not to turn on the clock button on the Iris. Unfortunately, the documentation with the Iris is pretty sparse, so it was a bit of a live and let learn situation. Immediately upon engaging the Iris, it was quite obvious that the sound became clearer and cleaner, resulting in more space between the instruments, more detail in the timbre, the richness of a bassoon, strikes of the piano. All of this was fuller. Cymbal crash had greater ring and depth with more natural, expansive decay. Therefore, I can definitely say that something is going on here, and for me, it was a real positive. Kind of like a really good steak. There is just more flavor to savor. As I continued listening to the Iris 12th, it revealed its subtle yet profound impact. The soundstage, which is already pretty expansive, blossomed further, with instruments gaining a palpable sense of space and air. The background receded into a dark night blackness, allowing more nuances of the recording to emerge. The sense of air around instruments, a critical marker of high fidelity listening, expanded in my small 10 by 11 foot listening space. All these things can be credited to the removal of digital artifacts. The harshness that often plagues many digital recordings, a byproduct of jitter, lessened. Instead, the music flowed with a more natural, organic ease, free from the digital glare that can fatigue the listener. This newfound smoothness translated into longer, more enjoyable listening sessions, where the focus remained squarely on the music, especially in recordings with a lot of sharp treble. Transient response, the ability to accurately reproduce the leading edge of musical notes, was also improved. Percussion instruments, such as drums and cymbals, gained a sharper, more defined attack, adding a sense of immediacy and realism to the performance. The microdynamics, those subtle explosions in volume that convey emotion and expression, were also rendered with greater fidelity. Of course, the degree of improvement will vary depending on the quality of your existing digital setup. If your system is already well optimized, the Iris 12 may provide a subtle refinement. However, if your digital source or DAC is less refined, the Iris 12 can act as a significant upgrade, unlocking the hidden potential and elevating your listening experience to new heights. With my Iris 2 DAC, the clarity improvement, while not huge, was definitely noticeable. The Denafrips Iris 12th DDC isn't a flashy component designed to impress with superficial features. It's a tool for the discerning audio enthusiast, a device designed to extract improved performance from your digital audio system. It's a silent partner that works behind the scenes, ensuring that your music is presented with clarity, precision, and musicality that it deserves. In the realm of digital audio, where the pursuit of sonic purity is a never-ending quest. The Denafrips Iris 12th DDC stands as a testament to the power of meticulous engineering and a deep understanding of digital signal processing. At a current price of $549 before tariffs, it is a compelling argument for avoiding the DAC upgrade bug. Potentially, it can be a worthy addition from modest to those of us in the middle zone of high-fidelity systems. A device that allows you to delve deeper into the music and experience it with a newfound sense of clarity and immersion. For those of us without a massive audio budget who seek the next in digital audio refinement, the Iris 12th DDC is a compelling proposition. I'm always searching for those components that transcend the ordinary. The Denafrips Iris 12th DDC, with its commitment to sonic purity, certainly fits the bill. It's a device that reminds us that the pursuit of audio excellence is a journey, not a destination, and that every step along the way can bring us closer to the heart of the music. The Iris 12th will become a permanent member of my system, and that is my highest recommendation. Until next time, everybody, in these trying and crazy times, turn off the news, stop the scrolling, and spin some music. Take care, everybody.